everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage star Montana Jordan shares some thoughts about how George could return, teasing a possible appearance by Lance Barber. In the new spin-off of Young Sheldon, which airs Thursdays at 8 p.m. on CBS, the titular couple tries to raise their newborn daughter in Texas while moving in with Mandy's parents. But despite being a multicam sitcom, with the audience laughing along, the show is not afraid to take a serious turn. This is the case in Georgie and Mandy Episode 2, where Georgie visits the grave of the late George Cooper, Sr. In comments to TV Line, Jordan dismisses the possibility of Barber reprising his role as the elder George Cooper. It's mentioned that, like in Episode 2, Georgie will continue to visit George's grave. The actor touches on the possibility of a throwback and teases George's return as a ghost. Read the quote below. The episode, Some New York Nonsense, gets its title from Georgie's stress after George's death in the Young Sheldon ending. Mandy, Emily Osmond, struggles to jumpstart her career in TV reporting, and his sister Missy, Reagan Revord, is having trouble at school. Georgie feels that he has to carry a lot on his shoulders. He dismisses his feelings, though, as some New York nonsense. Georgie does find some solace in visiting his father's grave, in scenes that unfold largely without laughter until the episode comes to a close. He makes up with Mandy and his in-laws Audrey, Rachel Bay Jones, and Jim Will Sasso. He even gets to help Missy with her troubles as they both visit George's grave. What's striking about these scenes is that despite a lighter tone, the Young Sheldon spin-off can tap into a serious moment when needed. Although no appearance is confirmed at this point, it does suggest that series creators Chuck Lorre, Stephen Molaro, and Steve Holland will make sure that George's potential appearance as part of the Georgie and Mandy cast will be worthwhile and honor his send-off while still using his appearance to propel the story forward. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage brings the laughs, though it proves arguably more effective as a more serious story of a young man who is trying to move forward after an immense loss. If the new spin-off can make the cameo worthwhile, perhaps as a way of furthering the bond between Georgie and Jim, it'll be interesting to see. Although it's early, the CBS multicam might be the most multifaceted in its genre among the new series as far as working with different tones and ideas. As Young Sheldon comes to an end, fans are already shifting their excitement to the upcoming spin-off, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. With the new series set to focus on Sheldon's older brother Georgie and his journey as a young husband and father, actor Montana Jordan, who plays Georgie, has been teasing what's to come. And now he's hinting at an idea that could send longtime The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon fans into an emotional spiral, a special cameo from Sheldon's late father, George Cooper Sr. While the timeline of the new show suggests that George is already gone, Jordan believes there's a way to bring Lance Barber's beloved character back in a meaningful and creative way. Could a George cameo actually happen? And what does this mean for Georgie's future in the new series? Since its premiere, Young Sheldon has introduced audiences to a different side of the Cooper family, and the tragic death of George Sr. has loomed over the series. By the time Georgie and Mandy's first marriage begins, George is already gone, leaving Georgie to navigate adulthood without his father's guidance. But Montana Jordan isn't ready to say goodbye to George just yet. The 21-year-old actor recently opened up about how he envisions a cameo for George in the upcoming spin-off, and it's surprisingly heartfelt. "I know George is supposed to be gone, but there are ways to bring him back," Jordan shared in a recent interview. Whether it's through flashbacks, dream sequences, or even just Georgie talking about him, "I think it would be really special for fans to see Lance Barber again." Jordan suggested that Georgie might struggle with the responsibilities of being a husband and father, and in a moment of doubt, he could have a dream where George gives him advice, similar to how The Big Bang Theory often featured dreamlike sequences of Professor Proton guiding Sheldon. "I think about how much Georgie looked up to his dad," Jordan continued. "He didn't always show it, but deep down he admired him. If Georgie ever felt lost, it would make sense for him to imagine what his dad would say." While Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is expected to be more lighthearted and comedic than young Sheldon, it will also likely explore Georgie's struggles as a young husband and father. Unlike his brother Sheldon, Georgie didn't have the luxury of time to figure things out. He had to grow up fast after Mandy's unexpected pregnancy. If a George cameo were to happen, there are several possible ways it could fit into the show's narrative. A dream or vision. As Jordan suggested, a stressed-out Georgie could see his father in a dream or a moment of deep thought. This could be a touching scene where George offers fatherly advice that Georgie never got in real life. Flashbacks. While young Sheldon covered much of George's story, there are still moments that haven't been explored. Perhaps an old memory resurfaces for Georgie, reminding him of something his father once taught him. Old video or voicemail. Maybe Georgie stumbles across an old recording of his dad, something simple like a voicemail or home video, that brings back a wave of emotions. Narration or references. Even if George doesn't appear physically, Georgie could talk about him often, keeping his presence alive through stories and reflections. No matter how the writers choose to incorporate George, it's clear that his influence still looms large in Georgie's life. Bringing George back, even in a small way, would add emotional depth to Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. While the show is expected to focus on humor and the ups and downs of young marriage, it also has the opportunity to explore the weight of responsibility that Georgie feels. With Sheldon moving to California, Georgie became the man of the Cooper family at a young age. He had to step up for his mother, his siblings, and now for Mandy and their daughter Cease. A cameo from George could remind him, and the audience, of where he came from and the values his father instilled in him. Montana Jordan's portrayal of Georgie has already evolved significantly from the early seasons of young Sheldon. Once a carefree teenager with dreams of getting rich quick, Georgie has matured into a hard-working young man who is trying his best to be a good partner and father. Seeing him reflect on his father's impact would not only be touching but also reinforce how much he has grown. For fans of young Sheldon, George Cooper Sr.'s fate has been one of the most heartbreaking aspects of the show. His tragic passing was confirmed in The Big Bang Theory, but young Sheldon made audiences fall in love with his character even more, making his inevitable death even harder to accept. If Georgie and Mandy's first marriage finds a way to bring George back, even briefly, it could serve as one final farewell to Lance Barber's beloved character. Rather than focusing on his death, the spin-off could celebrate his legacy by showing how Georgie carries on his father's lessons. Montana Jordan is clearly passionate about honoring George's memory, and if his ideas gain traction, fans may just get the heartfelt cameo they've been hoping for. The idea of a George cameo has already sparked excitement among fans. Many agree that it would be a meaningful addition to the spin-off, allowing Georgie to connect with his father in a way he never got to before. Georgie having a moment with his dad, even if it's just in his dreams, would be so emotional, one fan wrote on social media. Lance Barber deserves one last moment in the Cooper family story. Others pointed out that it could be a way to bring closure to George's character while also emphasizing Georgie's emotional journey. Georgie never really got to say goodbye to his dad properly, another fan commented. This could be his chance to have that moment, even if it's just in his head. While the showrunners haven't confirmed whether a George cameo is in the works, Montana Jordan's enthusiasm for the idea suggests that anything is possible. With the spin-off expected to blend comedy, heart, and real-life struggles, a well-placed George appearance could be one of its most memorable moments. For now, fans can only hope that the writers take Jordan's suggestion to heart. If young Sheldon has taught audiences anything, it's that family connections, past and present, are what truly make the Cooper story so compelling. Would you want to see George return in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage? Let us know what you think.